That's the first time I think we filmed so close to a lovely horse like this. It's only a foal, he's only little. But the main thing we're going to talk about today is a cook pan set. It's the full system. It's the stove and the pan set itself, and the stove fits inside the pan set. It's the SVEA 123R, and oh, he's got stuck. Hang on, I've got to help him. He's got barbed wire around his foot here. And his mates come to have a look at him. Just give me a few minutes and I'll get this barbed wire off him. I'm going to get rid of this log with the barbed wire on. I don't want these horses coming to any harm. Okay, job done. Okay, I'm gonna have to delayer a bit. The sun has come out. It's a lot warmer than it was 5 o'clock this morning, I can tell you that. I'm going to use my coat as a backdrop, and we've got a beautiful backdrop here as well. Was going to go under the tree, looks a bit too much in the shade. Okay, I'm going to dive into the pack now and show you how it all fits together. Oh, it's better. Okay, come inside and have a look, and I'll show you the boxing and the whole setup. I'll have to take my jumper off as well. Okay, there's 2 bits of kit we're looking at here. This is a backpacking cup come cook set. It's by High Gear, and I'll let you know the volume of the cook set itself a little later. As you see, the stove is really compact. Even the box fits inside the box. So here in my hands, here Optima Surveyor are making this particular model currently, and that will be nestled inside the High Gear day canteen. So put that aside, and here it is. If I open up my hands like this, you'll see that it's that kind of size. So in depth, it'll come from tip of your finger to your wrist, and in width, it comes from tip of your finger just over the edge of your fingers, tip to edge in width, and from depth, tip of your finger to the heel of your palm. This is going to be my hiking canteen come cook set from now on. I do have an unleaded burner. It's a lot bigger, it's a lot heavier, and that is going in my Armageddon pack, but for night camps this will do. Let's get this set up and we'll see if we can get a brew together, eh? Okay, here we are. It's the High Gear canteen with this weird shaped little thing on the bottom, which is designed to boil water quicker, and it does seem to, by the way. Separate little drinking cup and a cooking pot. Like you see, look at the size of that. And there we have the actual stove itself. Like I said, solid brass construction, built-in windshield. See if I can break the windshield off. There you go. So it will come in 2 parts. Let's get them all sat next to each other. and it's probably the most beautiful stove I've owned. Lovely little windshield, again solid brass construction, the stove itself, the burner and the regulator valve. And here's the key for it. This will regulate the temperature control, height of the flame, etc. So I'll give it one turn clockwise, one turn back, and what this is doing, that needle we talked about, the self-cleaning needle, will clean any impurities from there. Job done. Fuel, fill the cap, and we'll talk about the fuel we're going to use in this. There should be enough in there to get a brew. You don't want to overfill it because it is self-priming, and the way we do that is you need to expand the metal. And if you remember your homework from science class, if you heat metal it will contract and expand with the heat. The key is usually, when you get it, it'll be somewhere on the windshield here. I don't like it there, it's awkward. So here's the whole assembly. The cook pot, which it says here on the inside, don't know if you can make that out, 800mm. So that's the kind of size you're getting for that. A small little cup, and that will have heat-proof handle, completely folding, as well as the cook pot. I think Terra Firma do a similar kind of pot called the Weekender. This is from High Gear, and luckily I've still got the box for it. It says 900mm pot with a heat exchange. That's what them foils on the bottom are. It's a heat exchange, again a bit more science. So we got something here halfway science and something really old school, and we're gonna prime it now. And the way this is going to be primed is with the fuel that you'd use inside. We'll talk about the fuel, I promise you, but for now this is being run on cigarette lighter fluid, and inside this is naphtha or naphthalene, and there are cheaper versions of Coleman's fuel, there are cheaper versions of naphthalene. It will run on certain high grade octane fuels, so you want something very high burning at a good temperature, and we'll talk about other sources you can use. Let's zoom you in, and what we'll need to do is there's a filler cup here on the bottom. So there is the cup, that little indentation there, and we're not on solid ground either, but it'll do just to show you for demonstration purposes, and we'll find a little flatter ground and put it on the board or something. Just a few drops on there. Using a cigarette lighter we should be able to get that going. That is going. And what that'll do is warm the burner, pressurise the tank, and we should be able to gas it up. So let's turn it on and see if we have any pressure. Now on the outside of the windshield are your pot stands. Let's pull these out. But in my case, I need to sit this cup on top, so I need to put the pot stand legs in, so it'll accommodate a range of different sizes. Oh, take that off before it gets hot. Pop that on. Okay, let's get some water in this. I know if I just fill it up that much is going to be a cup. Wow, I don't believe that. All I've done is reposition the camera and we're already at a boil. It's been less than 2 minutes. Once you get it fired up, get it warmed up, 2 minutes for a cup there. I'm going to bring it to a real roaring boil and we have something to drink. And I'll show you what I'm going to have. I think I'll drink out of my little cup. It's one of these. And it's a stock cube. I don't know in the States if you have these stock cubes or not, but they make for a really, really warm, tasty drink. And I want to see if I've brought my pepper with me as well. So let's put that in the cup for now. I hope I have, you know. Oh, but some pasta. And another stock cube. And what do you know, the pepper I've left at home, and I love pepper with my stock cube. I'm going to check the bag again. In guarantee I'll always forget something. So I haven't bought my my pepper, which is annoying. Now, because I've got my wired mic on, you'll think this makes one hell of a sound, and on all the other videos I've watched of the SVEA stove, they are called the roarer. It sounds like a jet engine, but because I wear a wired mic, it's probably picking up the noise of this a lot more than it really is. There is a dampener which will go on that. Talk about that later. Right now I'm going to pour that brew. I don't want to lose this key. I need to keep it a lot safer than I'm keeping it at the moment. Like I say, it should clip on something like that, but I'm not keen. Okay, so I forgot to bring my pepper and salt. Never mind. There's a reason I don't drink straight from the cup or the pot like that, is because it's too hot. It'll burn your mouth. Absolutely sensational. And I always like to have a stock cube, a beef stock cube, before I go to bed. It's guaranteed warmth for the night. Okay, I'll put things away. Of course, water will boil a lot quicker with the lid on, like that, but if I put the lid on, you won't see it boil. Like I said, this is a very, very beautiful bit of kit. It really is. And the only other thing in beauty, camping wise, is the hurricane lamp. And I'll show you a quick side by side of the hurricane lamp and the SVEA stove. And compared to modern stoves, I mean, this is compact. and it's my stove of choice. Now I know loads of people go for the Trangia stove, also Swedish. They make the best stoves for camping, but I can't get to terms with that Trangia stove, so instead I've opted for the SVEA 123R. There was the original SVEA, or SVEA, let's pronounce it properly. The original SVEA was the 123. This is the 1965 remodeling of it, which is the 123R. Top up me thing. Horse is scratching himself on the post. All the wildlife's out by the way today. It really is a glorious day. Now I keep everything in one pot when it comes to this. So I sit my SVEA into the pot like that, and I'll keep my knife, fork, spoon and the lighter in the net bag that the high gear comes in. It's a good combination, so you'll need either the high gear pot and SVEA 123, and I think high gear make the Weekender, which is a better version of what I've got, and it's also a lot pricier. Like I said, the actual stove itself, Amazon, around 70-80 quid I think. If you can get one on the flea market, a car boot, something, just grab it. You won't be disappointed. Okay, and the whole setup will fit in the side pouches of most bags, and we'll have a look at that now. And we've got pasta for lunch. So I want to see really how this SVEA stove copes with boiling up some pasta in the cook pot. Got a good old platform here. I'm going to have to refuel the tank also, so I bought a little extra fuel. The fuel tank itself is 5.6 ounces, that's 158 grams. The overall weight, 18 ounces, that's including the windscreen. That's 510 grams, so not even half a kilo, well just a little over half a kilo, and that's what you're getting. And it's time to dump some fuel into the SVEA. The other fuels I'm going to be using for this will be panel wipe. It's a liquid that car body repair specialists would use, and that has naphthalene in. And there's also Aspen T4, which is a lawnmower fuel. That'll work. I won't be putting meths or white spirits or lamp oil. I have done. It doesn't burn well. You need something high grade. This little tin I'm filling now cost me £1.79, and it's 100ml, and it'll probably run it for a full day, 3 meals a day plus cups of tea. And I consider this dear or expensive. It has an air valve for back pressure built into the cap, so don't have to worry too much about this. So it's almost maintenance free. Same procedure as before. Going to wait for it prime, self-priming little machine this. I'm going to give that a minute just to warm up. And in the meantime, I'll fill some water into the old pan and see how long it takes to make my pasta. Now when you start to prime this, it'll bellow with fire. If it gets too much, blow it out and just light the burner, and you're ready. Again, look how quick that was. And I'm using sparkling water, so perhaps that's why it's boiling at a quicker rate. Now it's boiling, I have little pasta. Now with this kind of setup using the high gear pots, I will be looking at freeze-dried food such as the pasta and soups, things like that. Lads are out on the motorbikes, probably hear that. It's a lovely day for it. Okay, I can leave that. So the kind of food I'll be bringing out will be the freeze-dried foods. The pastas, the rices, cup of soups, anything freeze-dried perhaps that I can just rehydrate in water. I've never tried the frying pan on that. I dare say there'll come a time. Your mess tins will fit on that, and certainly any size of camping canteen is also going to fit. But they're the kind of foods I'm going to bring with me, dehydrated foods, and I'll stick with that. I'm going to turn this up a bit. Okay, I'm having to turn the key down so I can simmer it. So little itty bitty turns. That's better. By removing the key, that won't get hot. Already the end of it there is hot in the little time I've used it. I wish this was YouTube smell-o-vision, because this is gorgeous. I think it's chicken and leek. Pepper. Courtesy of Mackie D's. You know what, I might have some rock salt as well. There is a muffler available for the top of this, a silencer, and then it won't sound like its nickname, the roarer. But the downside on that muffler, it's £50. It's an import from the States, and it's only made of aluminium. You put it on top of the burner, series of holes all the way around. I probably will end up getting a muffler for it, but at £50, that's going to be a Christmas present. Okay, some of the pros and cons with this. It's very simple to use, so that's a definite plus. As you can see, it's pretty compact. It'll fit into most side pouches, so that's your canteens and your stove in your side pockets. Very compact. It's a good looking little machine as well. The price is going to be about average for a stove that's going to last decades. Not a lot of moving parts in it. You've just got the valve key. That's probably the only moving part on it. Some of the cons, the fuel here in the UK. I've not been disappointed with it so far. It's scary lighting this thing up for the first time, because it will flare up, so be aware of that. If that flare up gets out of control, blow out the flame at the bottom and relight the burner at the top. That's ready. Proper nice. Hot.